everyone, I'm here at the Bible study. I hope you guys are having a good day. Please keep the following people in prayer. Luke and Emma Boggs and their mom Bridget. They all need a little prayer right now. Pat Dempsey, she needs a lot of prayer right now. Sherm, Rhonda Karshner, Cindy and Jim, Layla and her son Emil, Danette Rager, Bonnie Jean. Bonnie Jean lives in Canada where all the wildfires are going on. Elizabeth Jeffries and her grandson Dominic. Wetzel Dempsey, Jimmy Myers, Abby and Liam, Randy Coast, Joyce Light, Cohen Richmond, Ray and Donna Dunlap, and Wetzel Dempsey and Melly Stanley. I haven't got my new list made yet. It's still in this book. I've got stuff scratched out and rewrote and everything. I really need to get it in another notebook here. Okay, let's see. Today our devotion is by Heidi Gall, and the Bible verse she picked out is John 15 verse 14, which says, "You are my friends if you do what I command." And that is Jesus speaking to his disciples. And now I will go and read John chapter 15. I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me and bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me, and I will remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine, Jesus says. You are the branches. If a man remains in me and I in him, he will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If anyone does not remain in me, he is like a branch that is thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up, thrown into the fire and burned. If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish and it will be given you. This is to my Father's glory, that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Now remain in my love. If you obey my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have obeyed my Father's commands and remain in his love. I have told you this, so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be complete. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, that he laid down his life for his friends. You are my friends if you do what I command. I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends, for everything that I learned from my Father I have made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you, and appointed you to go and bear fruit, fruit that will last. Then the Father will give you whatever you ask in my name. This is my command: love each other. Not hate each other because you're in a different country or because you look different from somebody else. Love each other. If you want to remain in Jesus and Jesus remain in you, love each other. If the world hates you, keep in mind it hated me first. The world ain't going to love you if you're on God's side. And Jesus downright said this. They will hate you on account of me. But remember, it hated me first. And you know, if they hated Jesus, they have no problem with hating you. Just because of Jesus. And they're the ones missing out. They're the ones missing out. That's sad. If you belong to the world, it would love you as its own. As it is, you do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. That is why the world hates you. Remember the words I spoke to you. No servant is greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will persecute you also. If they obeyed my teaching, they will obey yours also. My name, for they do not know the one who sent me. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would not be guilty of sin. Now, however, they have no excuse for their sin. He who hates me hates my Father as well. If I had not done among them what no one else did, they would not be guilty of sin. But now they have seen these miracles, and yet they have hated both me and my Father. But this is to fulfill what is written in their law. They hated me without reason. When the Counselor comes, whom I will send to you from the Father, the Spirit of truth, the Holy Spirit, who goes out from the Father, he will testify about me, and you also must testify, for you have been with me from the beginning. And yes, they have. Jesus' disciples, the main disciples, the 12, minus one, which is Judas Iscariot, because he was a traitor. And he was replaced later on. But if it was not for what they went through with Jesus, seeing with their own eyes, being with him every day, nobody can tell them that this wasn't the Messiah. They know Jesus was the Messiah for a fact. They seen the things he did. They seen him when he was dead. They seen him when he was risen. They seen him when he was on this earth for 40 days before they also seen him ascend alive on a cloud into heaven again. Until he comes back the same way. They seen it with their own eyes. Nobody can tell them otherwise. They know. And they were not afraid to tell any and everybody about it, regardless of what might happen to them. Imagine if they hadn't done that. We wouldn't have a chance today. We wouldn't have a chance today. You know, and that took a lot of bravery. It took a lot of bravery. But, you know, they know, hey, Jesus and God, they're the only ones I gotta please, Jesus and God. And I know they're real. These people here, what are they gonna do? They're gonna kill my body, then I'm going to paradise anyway. So I'm going to eventually die one day anyway. It's just going to get me there faster if they kill me. So when Jesus says my time, it's my time. But I'm going to be here preaching the word and trying to bring those souls to Jesus as long as I'm here on this earth, while the Lord has breath in my body. You see? And as you know, many were in prison, many were flogged, many, many times. Some were killed. A lot were killed in old age. Some made it to old age, some didn't. Still happens to this day in our countries. In some countries where they're not allowed to have Bibles even. Some of our Christian brothers and sisters are imprisoned in these other countries, just for trying to get the Word of God into people. They've been killed, or are still in prison, and will be getting killed. And, or, you know, they try to make them denounce God or kill them. I seen a video where they shared it, I don't know how many years ago now, where the missionaries went over to this other country. Where they weren't allowed to have Bibles and stuff. But they went. And that's what Jesus said. He wants people from all nations. He wants everybody to know and have a chance to be saved. Everybody. So nobody can say, well, they don't care about me. Yeah, we're all God's children. He loves us all. Do you love Him? Do you love Him? They went. And they would have to watch each other go through this. They would take like 3 or 4 of them out at a time in front of the others that were in the cell, outside cell. And they would put them on their knees. And they would try to get them to denounce God. And if they didn't denounce God, they chopped off their head with a big long sword, with a machete. They chopped their head off right there in front of the rest of them. Some gave in and turned their back on God. But others didn't. And they were killed. But you know, they're standing there in paradise with Jesus. And you know the fear those other people gotta have, seeing that done to others, and knowing their turn's going to be coming. The devil does not care. The devil does not know love. He only knows hate. He wants everybody to suffer but himself. Okay, let's see what Heidi has to say. She says, my father was handy, but also thrifty. The techniques he chose for household repairs could lean toward the unconventional. Paper clips and bubble gum sometimes found their way into his fixes. Not so with my husband Dave, whose grandfather constructed houses using conventional building materials. When one of the windows in our historic home required work, I scrutinized over every step Dave took to restore it, like an interrogator. I questioned the supplies he'd selected. When I continued demanding to know the point behind each process, he grew tired of my endless questions. I heard the frustration in his voice. He knows repair work, I don't. Like Dave with household maintenance, Jesus knows which areas of my faith need attention and how best to restore them. My body is his temple, and he was a carpenter after all. Yep, that's what Jesus' job was. He did have a job, you know. He was a carpenter. Jesus was a carpenter. Paul was a tent maker. Peter was a fisherman, and his brother. He understands which aspects of my spirit require removal and a full rebuild, and which can be set right with a paper clip and some gum. He doesn't need my questions, my doubts, or my advice. He only desires my acceptance of his will for my life. When I live in obedience instead of a constant struggle to do things my way, he can fix me more efficiently, and the results are beautiful. I can hand him a hammer or steady the ladder, but he's the one capable of restoring and redeeming my broken parts. And he can do it. I am his creation, his project, and he's still working on me and you. Don't let the devil take hold, because all he needs is an inch, and he will take control. The people that are, you ever wonder, why do I see the evil people in this world thrive, while the good people that are trying to do the good thing, you know, they believe in God, they try to be good to everybody, they do what is right? Why do they seem to have it bad when the evil people get everything they want? Well, The devil wants to try to turn you from God. The devil gives these people this. They're already on his side. Sure, your soul. I'll take your soul. I'll make you a star. I'll give you billions of dollars. Sure, I'll give you whatever you want here, my friend. All you gotta do is give me that soul. Well, sure, people just sign it away, you know. Think that's, oh, okay, cool, I'm gonna be famous, I'm gonna be rich, and, you know, whatever. And don't worry about it, even if they ever do, till they're actually dying. And they've already given their soul to the devil. But the devil don't have that with you, because you have God. So he's going to have bad things happen to you, keep trying to do stuff to you all the time, to throw you curveballs, to throw hits your way, to try to turn you from God, so you can blame it on God. I worship God, I fear God, I do this for God, I'm always faithful, I do what's right. Why is God doing this to me? Why is God letting these bad things happen to me? No, that's the devil. God don't let bad things happen. That's the devil. Remember how we'll be known by our fruits? That's the devil trying to turn you away from the Lord. And the Lord's just standing there right with you, with his hand on your shoulders, telling you to hold firm, child. Stay strong. The storm is strong, but it won't last forever. Don't let the devil win. Don't let him win. He works hardest for those he really wants. So, you know, if you're really taking those hits coming at you right and left, and you know you're doing what's right, you know God, you know the devil really can't stand you. He's really upset. He really wants to get you away from God, and he's trying everything he can to get you from God. But remember, God never leaves you. He's always right there with you. Fighting the whole time, right there alongside you. Okay guys, everybody pick your animal for the animal devotion. I've seen that picture you sent, Layla. I ain't got the comment, or I ain't got the write back yet. Layla sent a picture of a big green moth. No, not to the end. That we had last time, the big green moth. She sent a real picture of one. I want to show it to you. That was cool. Okay. This animal devotion is by Tracy Crunk. Let's see here. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 8 and 9. We are afflicted in every way, but not crushed, perplexed, but not driven, to despair, persecuted, but not forsaken, struck down, but not destroyed. And this one is called Rising Again. Everybody got your animals? Well, I guess it's animals, but it's basically the same kind of animal. What do you pick? Sherm can't pick this time because he knows. Because I actually made this drawing bigger for you guys, and Sherm's holding it, so he can't pick. I put it on a chalkboard for you. One spring, a neighbor up the hill fancied himself a gentleman farmer and bought a rooster and 5 hens. We have chickens, people. Unfortunately, our subdivision does not allow livestock, and the homeowners association ordered him to get rid of them. Yeah, I don't think they would have liked that too well. Rather than give the birds away, he simply released them. They scurried across the road and took up residence in a thicket of trees. We got wild birds over there. Why'd the chicken cross the road? Because they got evicted on the other side, sounds like. They scurried across the road and took up residence in a thicket. I don't know what they lived on, but not only did they survive, they thrived. Mama hens led their broods into the road to peck for insects or bits of gravel to fill their gizzards. The rooster strutted and crowed, watching over his family. Tiny chicks grew and produced more young, and those grew, and so on. The next summer, authorities rounded up the chickens, a sight to see. Can you imagine them running after them? But a few escaped. The flock swelled again. At one point, at least 50 fowl inhabited the woods. Those chickens entertained us for almost 3 years. But finally, the powers that be collected every last one, and our neighborhood was chickenless once again. That was very boring then. I admire the resilience those simple domesticated birds displayed. Not only did they adjust to being released into the wild to take care of themselves, but they recovered from the reduction of their flock to almost nothing. If only I could bounce back so easily. All of us, right? When I'm thrown into a new situation or lose friends or family members, I've come to rely on, I sometimes become paralyzed, not knowing which way to turn. Been there, many times. Only when I turn to Jesus, remembering He is always there to help me rise again, can I persevere. Sometimes He surrounds me with others who can help. Other times, regrouping in His strength gives me the fortitude to endure my trials. I never thought I'd want to imitate a chicken, but in this case, maybe so. Us too. And now I guess we really know why the chicken did cross the road. Because he's addicted on the other side. And I thought that was a good joke. And Sherm didn't even laugh. I'm very highly offended at that. Proverbs 24:16. For the righteous fall 7 times and rise again, but the wicked stumble in times of calamity. Alright guys, so let's see if you can see your picture. I got a clipboard. This ain't a clipboard. I got a chalkboard to for our videos. And this is my first time using it. I bought it when Sherm and I were out for his birthday. So I got the rooster on here and the 5 hens and a bunch of chicks. And a few extra decorations. See if you guys can see this.
Gobble gobble!
Can you see it all?
Except at the bottom. Yeah.
Is it too big for the videos?
Not now. Better hurry.
I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Let's bring those souls to Jesus, and God willing, we'll see you guys again tomorrow with another Bible study. Bye guys. God bless.